Okay, it looks like we are able to play the game on 2 cores. Now notice I do have the multi-threading enabled, so you can see in the top left corner of the screen that we have 4 CPUs being reported, but there are 2 physical cores, which each then have 2 additional threads. Also, our GPU is around 30-something% utilization, indicating we are absolutely CPU limited. The CPU is not being able to feed the GPU as many frames as it could process. Now, the GPU I have here is the RTX 4080. That's not so important. All that matters is it's powerful enough that the GPU is not the limiting factor, the CPU is. I'm currently at ultra settings because that does increase the burden on the CPU load compared to like the low settings. But I am then using DLSS performance to reduce the burden on the GPU to make sure we're seeing CPU limited performance. And we're on a 1440p output. So that's 720p internal rendering resolution. And let's see how we do. So on 2 cores with multi-threading, so 2 cores, 4 threads, the CPU is 100% on everything. And we're getting in the mid-40s or so. We can also look at the frame time graph to judge the smoothness. Remember, the recording is not necessarily synced up to the 60 FPS YouTube video you're watching, but I can tell you right now, it is absolutely choppy in person. Let's see if I manage to get a kill against anybody, because, man, that'd be kind of embarrassing for them now, wouldn't it be? Anyway, let's see what happens. Oh my goodness, with more players in the area, this is really chugging. Like, there is a huge amount of latency in between when I push a button to move back and forth. Like, I know you guys can't see it, but like, I push a button and wait like what feels like half a second to actually move. Oh my goodness. Guys, I got the kill. I got a kill. That is so embarrassing for that guy. I feel so bad for him. Anyway. There's a landmine. Let's blow that up. Did I just actually damage my own tank since I blew up an enemy's landmine? I don't know, that's possible. Whatever, guys, my excuse is I'm on a dual core in 2025. And I'm 2 kills, no deaths. Just saying. Making this video is also an excuse for me to play Battlefield 6, albeit with a major performance handicap right now. But playing Battlefield 6 and calling it working is also enjoyable. Anyway, probably won't be my finest kill-death ratio, though. Oh, we're 3 kills, no deaths, guys. Okay, get out the shotgun. Oh my goodness. Okay, I definitely could have got that kill if I wasn't getting 40 frames per second. That's probably a good place to end it, though, but we're 3 kills and 1 death on 2 cores. Let me go turn on 3 cores and we'll see what happens. But honestly, guys, if you need better performance, sometimes you need some different computer parts, and that's where you should check out Jawa.gg. This is where you buy, sell, and upgrade between gamers. You can get some excellent deals on individual parts, as well as entire PCs. They have this PC Finder where you can find exactly what you're looking for, exactly in the budget you want, the style that you want, performance in specific games that you want. It's awesome. You can even shop PCs by theme, because honestly, your PC is often like this showpiece of your room and a big part of showing who you are, so you can get the exact style you're looking for. And how do you pay for it? You can turn your old gear into extra cash. You can create your own listings, set your own prices, or go for maximum convenience by clicking this Get an Instant Offer button to sell your old GPU or CPU to Jawa for extra cash. You can get an instant offer today. There's tons of great reviews, and the best of all is I can save you $10 off your first purchase if you use code OWEN10, and you can follow the link in the video description and or pinned comment. A huge thank you to Jawa for sponsoring this part of today's video. Okay, so I have tried to queue up for the same map, and there is custom search settings, but it just doesn't seem to obey them. So it looks like we are getting a different map, so that's another variable in the already quite variable, gameplay testing that we're doing here. But anyway, we're on 3 cores, 6 threads on the Ryzen 9 5950X. which can go up to 16 core 32 thread, which is why we're using it for this video. And it's also nice that it's like a 5-year-old CPU, so it's not the most powerful cores and threads, but also reasonably powerful cores and threads. We're at the same ultra graphics settings as before, and on the 4080, all of that. All we changed is we are at, oh my goodness, I cannot, oh, I got the kill, okay. That was like really laggy pulling out my gun. You guys can see the 1% lows here around 40. So it's definitely, what I'm noticing is like, there's definitely some like spikes of like latency and lag that then kind of clear up for a bit and then get worse again, etc. So anyway, like we're dropping into the 50s right now, especially as that building exploded and things. Like, oh yeah, this is, oh my goodness, that's an enemy. I managed to get the kill. Okay, I don't know exactly how I'm getting kills while barely able to turn around and aim and like aim down sight. That's an enemy. Probably shouldn't use the shotgun at that range. Let's throw a grenade. Okay, managed to get another one, guys. We're in the 60s here. Things are kind of settling down a little bit. Got another one there. Okay. Okay, we're at least getting a few kills. So there is that. Can we push in on the enemies here? Oh, I only got 7 bullets left. Okay, well, I'm dead. That's one way to get more bullets. Let's see if my teammate can, come on, you can do this, buddy. You can't do this, buddy. He's dead. Okay, is that enough gameplay on 3 cores, 6 threads? I kind of feel like it is. So let's switch up to 4 cores, 8 threads. Right, it has once again ignored the map choices I try to make, so whatever at this point. Anyway, here we are. Oh, there are some enemies. We are on 4 cores, which gives us 8 threads. Let me hit the averages button, and I'm hearing gunshots over my head, so there's that. Maybe I should be a sniper or something. Seems like there's an enemy there, and that didn't go so well for me. I'm probably getting sniped by all sorts of people. I don't think anybody's gonna actually res me here, so let's go ahead and spawn in. And I do want to get closer to the action, because I think that's generally where we will see more CPU load. We want to be in the area with a lot of enemies. But I will say, so far, 4-core, 8-thread feeling a lot better than the 2 cores or 3 cores did. So far it's been scaling a lot better the more I get. Let me see if I can tap shoot some enemies from this distance. I'm gonna get sniped if I try to do that with this gun though, aren't I? What is it, B to change my weapon fire mode. All right, but we at least got a lot of people around us right now, which is kind of what I'm looking for. And yeah, we're close to 100 FPS at times. 1% lows are still over 60. I'm gonna actually go to tap shoot mode and see if I can take this guy out. Ah, well, at least chased him down. Anyway. Ah, that's an enemy. Okay, oh good, I got out my ladder when I wanted my shotgun. I don't think we can blame that on the frame rate. I think we can blame that on me. So, turns out when you want to press 3 and you push number 4 instead, it causes you some problems. So, I guess that's understandable. Now, this guy just got sniped, so I'm naturally going to just pop my head out right where he got sniped. Seems like a good strategy. Let's push in towards the enemy and see what happens. We've got explosions going on, that's good. Okay, seems like I got under cover. We gotta push into D. All right, team. Come on, team. Are there enemies up here? I hear a lot of footsteps. I think I see something on my radar. Okay. Seems like if there was somebody here, he's been taken care of. Oh, there's an enemy up close, but my team already shot him. I was late. Is that an enemy head? No, that is not. Okay. This seems like a dangerous place to try to run through. So, let's try to run through. Throw a grenade in the doorway and push in. What? Okay, guys, was that not 2 shotgun blasts right to that guy at like point blank range? Anyway, we are getting around 100 FPS though. Let's go ahead and push up the cores and threads a bit higher, see if it helps. We are now on 6 cores, 12 threads. Now, I've kind of tested something very similar to this in a lot of my other videos on my Ryzen 5 5600X, but this is a Ryzen 9 5950X, which is just being limited to using 6 of its 16 cores, which is something a little bit different. That's an enemy. I did get him though. Okay, I thought that was an enemy popping up here. Okay, we'll get the res. Look at that. Now, you can definitely tell that, because I think we actually are on the same map now. I mean, we'll want to test out more gameplay, but this does seem to be the same map as the previous match. Still not the one I have selected in the custom search browser, by the way. But anyway, I think they need to fix that. But anyway, it is at least somewhat of a apples-ish to apples comparison. Maybe like green apples to red apples, but still some form of apple. There's some enemies coming right around that corner. Anyway, the point is that on the same map at least, and the same game mode, pushing into a similar area, although the exact things happening with the enemies and teammates... Oh, dude, I was gonna save you! Oh, there was another enemy. Maybe he was dying to try to make me not try to save him. I'm getting distracted by the gameplay. The point is, remember we were like hugging right around 100 FPS at the best of times in the on the 4-core 8 thread. Now that we're up to 6-core 12 thread, this map seems to be pretty consistently well over 100 FPS, to where that seems like the explanatory factor rather than the it just being gameplay variability. Like, it really looks like there was a major benefit going from 4-core 8 thread to 6-core 12 thread. Performance, by the way, also just, it feels more responsive. Like, I no longer feel like there's weird bouts of latency that seem to kind of vary depending on what I'm doing and how many enemies are nearby. Apparently I can still just get shot in the floor by a guy laying on the ground in the corner. So there's that. So getting 130 FPS doesn't save me from that. Now I'll also mention that it seems like, now notice that all of the cores and threads are no longer exactly at 100%. Now I want to be clear, this still means that we are CPU limited. The GPU is waiting for the CPU. You can see the GPU is still only around 73, 74% usage right here. Now, not every core or thread is at 100%, but the workload can cycle, bounce around different cores and threads, and the percentage utilization you're seeing is sampled over an interval of time. So if one thread is at 100%, but then moves around, so that particular physical core or whatever isn't 100% loaded the entire time, you don't necessarily see a 100% thread on the CPU, even if you are CPU limited. The best way to tell you are CPU limited is to notice that the GPU is not anywhere near 99, 95, or so percent utilization. Also, different elements of the CPU can be a limiting factor. There's like the RAM speeds and the there's like the cache and all sorts of things. Anyway, so it all can get fairly complicated. I'm gonna see if I can tap shoot that guy. See if I can tap shoot. What is this? I didn't land a single shot on that guy. And my frame rates are high enough that I can't blame it on the frame rates. That was pure skill issue. There's enemies looking down at me from over there. Let's push into this zone, get a little more combat, and then we will push up to 8-core 16 thread. So it's E to go up these things. I keep wanting to push F for some reason. That's a teammate. What? Did that just launch me? Okay, whatever, guys. We're gonna add on some more CPU cores. Maybe that will help my brain work better. Okay, well, I got shot right as starting the recording. So anyway, there's that. This is now 8 cores, 16 threads. So in other words, I have one of the 2 CCDs enabled on the 5950X. The 5950X is 16-core 32 thread because it can enable like 2 dies, 2 little computer chips within the computer chip, if you want to think about it in super simple terms. But nicely, even though the game is continuing to ignore the map selection I am actually choosing, hey, he was trying to crawl through here like me, it's still trying to ignore everything I choose. It is, thankfully, at least allowing me to get a triple kill there, so there's that. Anyway, I'm sorry. It is queuing up the same map 3 times in a row now. So we're now in the same map we were before. I guess I'll just die here. They got rezzed. All my work for nothing. Oh well. So we're at least being able to test out the same map on, it looks like going from 4 to 6 to 8, so that's good. Let's see if anybody's gonna save. No, the guy's in the tank. My only nearby teammate's in the tank. Is he running over an enemy right there? I think he is. Anyway, let's see if I can spawn in here and actually... Is that enemy that was underneath that guy dead now? I just wanted to make sure he didn't get me. Okay. So we are getting around 130 FPS. I will say I'm not noticing a huge improvement compared to 6-core 12-thread. And without, like, absolutely matched apples-to-apples gameplay here compared to the other matches, I think it's going to be difficult to draw any real specific conclusions as to whether 6-core 12-thread versus 8-core 16-thread is showing any meaningful difference or advantage. I think the numbers might be slightly higher right now, but we're also in a different match doing slightly different gameplay, even if it's on the same map. Where is this enemy? What? I thought... Well, whatever. Anyway, so 8-core 16-thread seems to be around 130 FPS. I think what we're going to do next is turn on the entire CPU. So 16-core 32-thread and see what happens. All right, so I have queued up again. We now have the full CPU enabled, both CCDs, 16-core 32 threads, and we are finally on the map I was trying to queue up for since the beginning, which now I kind of didn't even want, because I would have rather been on the same one we were the last few for a little bit more of an apples-to-apples comparison, even though the gameplay isn't going to be matched up either way. But anyway... This is clearly a more demanding map, because we're now, 120-ish FPS. That's a teammate, apparently. All right. So anyway, not quite as high of a frame rate as we were getting before, despite having more cores and threads. I guess he went up here. All right. Now, I'm getting distracted by gameplay, but I'm dead now. So I actually wonder if it would be useful to see if I actually can queue up for the other map. We'll give it a shot, no promises. Yeah, I'm having some trouble getting back to that last map. So now we're on Ridge 13, maybe get a little brief snippet of performance on this map. Seems like here we're closer to the 130, 140 or so FPS range. So maybe we can just get a variety of maps here as I kind of give a little bit of final thoughts. In the end, it seems like it was surprisingly playable when I went all the way down to, like, the 2 cores, let's just say, was not playable. 3 cores, like, I could play, but there was weird bouts of like, latency. It wasn't a good experience. A 4-core 8-thread was almost okay, but still just had weird bits of latency and things like that, that just, it was actually messing with my aim and gameplay. Once I went up to 6-core 12-thread, it felt okay. 8-core 16-thread may have been even better, but it's hard to actually objectively give evidence for that being the case. And now on the 16-core 32-thread, you can see the game is putting work on lots of cores and threads. I'm just running around dying. Let's see if we can load up for another map. Anyway, so you can load up lots of cores and threads, but that doesn't necessarily mean like I'm actually getting more performance out of it, and it's definitely not fully utilizing all of them. By the way, the custom search all along, and now I've switched it to New Sobek City, because that's the one that we got a few times in a row, but look how fast this is going to queue up, and it's just going to ignore my selection, except now they say that, watch it actually get us the one we want. Let's see here. So, because this is going to be a little bit of a, oh, did I actually get it? Guys, we got it. We got this map. I'm mind blown right now. I was trying to show how this doesn't work, but I promise it didn't work all the other times. Anyway, I've been trying to queue up for like the new Siege of Cairo, whatever that's called. All the times I kept getting this city, but it queues up for matches super fast, which means that the way this search feature is described just doesn't seem to be what's actually happening. It says, well, I mean, okay, it says like it's putting a preference on something, but it might have like, if you have long queue times, it might go to expand the search. But like realistically, I think it should just allow you to choose to have as long of a queue as you want to play the map and game type that you actually want. I think that that's kind of a big deal. And I know that's not the point of this video, but I'm just going to rant about it in this video because it affected my ability to produce this video. Anyway, we are now actually on this map with the 16-core 32 thread, and since we also tested this map on the 6-core, 8-core, and versions, I think that this is going to be interesting. Is that no, that's just fire. For some reason I thought that was an enemy. I don't know. Anyway, let's go ahead and push in, get some performance numbers going. I won't say again that I can, based on this like variable gameplay, give any definitive evidence that we are doing better than we were with 6-core 12 thread and 8-core 16 thread, and that's an enemy. But I did get the res and get the kill. So there's that. Is my teammate just gonna lay on the ground here? Did he not realize he has been saved? Okay. I've got 1% lows dropping to around 95, so perfectly fine. There's an enemy right there. I don't think I have enough range. There's way too... I don't have any attachments on my guns right now. They're just at stock. I should probably look into some different attachments or even different weapons. But again, not the point of today's video. See, I should have been able to get that kill. Like, I really... Anyway, I feel like the medium range fights, I just don't have the... Well, one thing I don't have right now is ammo. Let's go in the smoke with the shotgun, and we'll die. Maybe this is a good point to end the video, but look, we're averaging around 130 FPS on this map in combat, when we kind of did on the 6-core 12 thread and the 8-core 16 thread. So it can certainly load up a lot of threads, like we're seeing right now, but I'm not sure we're pushing additional performance from them, beyond kind of the 6-core 12 thread, 8-core 16 thread kind of situation. Anyway, hope you guys found the video useful and or interesting, and you all have an excellent day.